This season marks a new beginning. Witness the raw power, iconic sound, and pure speed from the historic Lotus 79. Experience the competition and glory days of early 80s open-wheel action. Watch as drivers wrestle these ground effects cars into submission. Drivers will face off wheel to wheel. For some, it's a chance at redemption. For others, an opportunity to make a statement. All sharing the same goal, to be crowned champion. Tune in Thursday nights on the iRacing Esports Network to watch the premier historic open wheel series on iRacing, the Lionheart Retro Series presented by Butt Kicker.
We're all gamers, and HyperX is always ready to game. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. We come to you today from the traditional debut venue of Homestead-Miami Speedway as First Medical Equipment presents Season 8 of the Lionheart IndyCar Series. The 7 previous championships have been shared by only 3 drivers. Jesse Vinson won the inaugural campaign, and the legend went back-to-back in Season 2. In Season 5, it was a three-peat for Jake Wright. He followed up titles that he won in Seasons 3 and 4. After winning the crown in Season 6, Adam Blocker did it again last time. But the defending champion has a new real-world position with Ilmore Engineering, and that is expected to limit his track time, making a Blocker three-peat a long shot. This opened the doors for all the veterans who've been knocking at a championship for so many seasons. And don't overlook the rookie crop. The true 3-race, 500 miles each, double points each, triple crown is back. And there are 11 squads, 3 drivers deep, to battle for the HyperX Team Championship. The anticipation drips like sap from any of the 1,000-plus palm trees that adorn Homestead-Miami Speedway. To quote the Black Eyed Peas, let's get it started. It's the First Medical Equipment 200, and all the simulated Dallara IR18 action from Green Flag to Victory Donuts streams your way live as it happens on the iRacing Esports Network. From the birthplace of the Hangin' Chad, good health, and welcome to another GSRC broadcast and the Sim Experience Countdown to Green. Over the next 15 minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to appreciate the First Medical Equipment 200 that will immediately follow as we indeed count down to green. Way up in the press box to bring you our bird's eye view, former real-world IndyCar driver Richie Hearn, joined by yours truly, Bill Soups On. Sean Ambrose has director duties, armed with cameras, located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by Dougie Beard. Okay, Homestead is the traditional starting point for any LIS season. Here's a closer look at what today's venue has in store.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel. I'm Brian Yazlik, taking you for a spin around the Homestead-Miami Speedway in the GSRC IR18 IndyCar. Why am I on pit road? Because on the iRacing service, you have to use the exit lanes and the entry lanes. I'm going to show you both here. So coming off of pit road, let this thing build up a little bit of speed. This car makes a little bit more grip on the underside, so getting out of pit road should be a little easy. Wait for your blend mark right there. Bring it up the back stretch, off into turn 3. Bringing it high here to try to build up a little bit of speed for maybe your qualifying lap or maybe just to avoid some slower traffic. Down the front stretch we go, and away we go on to the hot lap. So down here into turn 1, you're going to drive it in, turn in right about the last sign, and then drive it straight to the bottom and let the left sides dig on that white line. Cut it off a little bit here to try to keep the straight line speed going. Off into turn 3, you can take a little wider entry to try to straighten this corner off and let it go through. Let the car kind of do what it wants to do. If you really try fighting the steering, you're going to be scrubbing off a whole lot of speed. Now, as the run moves around, or even in from lap 2, you could see guys all over this Homestead-Miami Speedway, all the way up here by the fence. You could even see him in the middle. You could see him 3 wide coming off of this corner. Little bump on the exit of 2 could unnerve these cars a little bit. You can see the same down here into turn 3. Kind of riding this higher seam, letting it roll up there, and then really trying to get ahead of steam down the front stretch to set up your pass. Now, I did mention that I'm going to show you the pit entry as well. So here we go, coming through, waving everybody off, calling off your signals that you're pitting, trying to get everybody around you aware to the fact of what's going on. You'll be driving it right down here down the backstretch, about midway down, and then start driving it in. Hard on the brakes, get it down to 4th or 3rd gear. Let it really coast through here. At the end of a run, this is going to be really tricky with worn out and hot tires. Straighten it out, grab your pit limiter, hit the marks, hit the brake, and now you're on pit road. So, this has been our guide around the Homestead-Miami Speedway. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
Sunshine, fresh citrus, high and a state-of-the-art 1.5-mile oval. That's what you call heaven on a stick. And now, let me reintroduce a man that has me pinching myself each time I get to broadcast with him. My late mother's favorite IndyCar driver, the one and only Richie Hearn. Richie?
Yeah, thank you, Soup. And there we had a preview of Homestead. It's traditionally the first race of the IndyCar season, at least when I was running. Now they start at St. Petersburg, but we used to run here every year. It's a very fast super speedway, even though it's 1.5 miles. It races with 3 or 4 grooves. No real danger spots. Just kind of find what works for you. It seems to be probably the high groove works out a little bit better, as if you run down on the bottom, you wear those front tires out. But really the real tricky part is if we have some green flag stops, is trying to pit on that coming in on that pit lane off of 3 and trying to carry that speed around that narrow lane into the pits, and the speed limit comes up real quick. So that should be something we should watch out for, but should be a really great race. Remember, the countdown to green is brought to you by Sim Experience, makers of the Sim Experience AccuForce Pro V2 Complete, the premier professional racing simulation steering systems. When combined with today's best racing simulators, the AccuForce Pro is as close as you can get to driving the real thing. The key to its incredible realism is the groundbreaking direct driver motor control system, providing a driving experience that's second only to the real thing. For more information on the entire Sim Experience ecosystem, including the Sim5 software, 3DOF, Stage Series Motion, and the new GS5 G4 seat, visit www.simexperience.com.
And there you have it. This is the part of the pre-race show where we would usually talk about the point standings, but this being the very first race of the season, we cannot do that yet. So let's go ahead and take a second to look at some of the drivers that we might want to keep an eye on. Director, if we could find Justin Wilson, I believe he is. Justin Weaver, car number 66. He finished 3rd last year in the points. He's out there right now, just coming into pit lane. And that's something I saw, Richie, a lot of these drivers doing, was practicing getting onto pit lane here.
Yeah, I did a little practicing with these guys last night and trying to go fast around that pit lane. You end up getting it out wide in the grass, and that's going to be kind of a talking point if we do get some green flag pit stops for sure.
A few big names that are not here. We talked about Adam Blocker. He is not here today. Dan Guerin, I have yet to see. I thought Danny was here, but not so far. So, Dan Guerin is out for the season. I'm getting the news.
Dan Guerin he is retired.
Oh, I didn't do my study on that. But interesting, because Dan Guerin is the all-time leader for laps led here at Homestead, and I was looking to see if he could pick up a wins. Well, we'll miss Dan. But again, I talked about that, letting the opportunity for drivers who've been knocking on a championship, give them a chance to get it. Let's go ahead and quickly, before we go to some other stuff, let's look at some of the rookies. How about car number 78? This is one of the rookies we wanted to keep an eye on. This is Arjuna Kenkapati. I wanted to get that one out of the way to see how we do on that.
Yeah, you got a couple of quick rookies there. Adam Frazier, obviously. Arjuna, like you said, Dare Ganji. Also, Josh Chin. He's a veteran in these Indy cars. Maybe not to this league, but in the IndyCar community. He's going to be fast all year long.
You mentioned Darren Ganji, and of course we have Sim Experience. He is very much connected with that team. Now, Darren was here earlier today. I don't know if he's out there right now. I saw him in a car. I don't see him out there right now. So I guess maybe, oh, he's in the pits. Our director has found him. Okay, let's go ahead now and talk about the iRacing Esports Network, the best of the best in the iRacing World Championship, as well as many of the top private leagues like the one you're watching right now are showcased right here on the iRacing Esports Network. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you subscribe. GSRC is proud to be part of the IESN stable of broadcasters. And now let's talk about Lionheart, considered to be the premier fixed setup racing league for the Dallara IR18 on the iRacing service. The Lionheart IndyCar Series honors the memory, as always, of the late Dan Weldon. And since this is a brand new season, what better time than to talk about the series details? Richie, let's go ahead and see what's going on this season.
And these series details come to us thanks to Minus 273, the premier name in karting gloves. For more information on Minus 273's full line of gloves and apparel, visit minus273.biz. Use promo code LHRS for 25% off all your orders. And here's our series details. Obviously, Season 8, Round 1 of 20. You can see those 3 drops we get for the year. Cars, the Dallara IR18. And the setups are fixed, but they have been adjusted for a little raceability. And this year, we're working on cash and prizes totaling $10,721.
Wait, what? 10,000 plus in cash and prizes? Holy moly. The other thing that catches my eye when we look at those series details, we are about 4 events shorter this season, and I applaud that one. We are only going 20, but I mentioned it in the pre-race when the opening, the Triple Crown is back, and I believe it's going to be at Michigan, Indianapolis, and then California. 500 miles each, double points for all of them. That should be exciting. Qualifying just getting underway.
Yeah, these times are going to be real tight when we do qualifying here. 24:94 so far for Scotty Johnson. It's just been about 9 cars out there running. It's going to be a little bit faster than that, I think, when we get to qualifying. Probably around, and there you go, Tony Schoen, 24:7. I'm going to guess it's going to be about a 24.70 will be the pole. But I ran a practice race with these guys last night. I started dead last. And I started 29th, and within about 30 laps, I was up to about 15th. So it really is about, staying out of trouble, finding the right drafting area to go in, and, like I say, staying out of those wrecks and kind of let the race play out to you.
Well, some of these ovals we've done here on Lionheart, sometimes it's hard to make the pass, and it's, if you fail to make the pass, you actually lose the position to the guy behind you. But it sounds like the draft makes passing kind of easy here. We're looking at a pretty heavy draft track.
Yeah, it's not just that, but you can run 3 or 4 grooves through the corner. So if you have good tires, you can run at the bottom, or you can run at the top, and you can run in the middle. So, I didn't feel like you got stuck anywhere. You can just kind of find what worked for you.
37 names on the entry list. The largest field ever for this event in the Lionheart IndyCar Series was 43 back in Season 6. We're not going to break that record today. In fact, I think they've actually lowered the number of drivers who could even enter. I believe we're at 39. So we have 37 that have entered. Not everybody has put in qualifying times. In fact, there's only 25 drivers that were able to get in qualifying. 26, I guess they're still starting to trickle in a bit.
Yeah, right now I got Brian Beard up on the pole with the 24.707. You can see second and third have tied Damon Martinez and Brandon Lincoln, 24.711. And next group, fourth and fifth, same thing, tied 24.715 with Shawan and Yazik.
We looked a little bit there at Richard Holiday. He's one of the rookies. There's a veteran, Samuel Ryman, and Justin Weaver is here. Good to see a lot of familiar names back.
Yeah, we got some guys like Damon Martinez, had a really good year last year. I think this is his 3rd season. And, George Sandman is going to be quick as well. He's out there, although he hasn't qualified very well, but he was fastest in practice.
There's one of the Hacker boys, Ken. It's good to see that Dustin Wardlow is back in his familiar Dwar's Candy Machine. Sad to see that Fam's favorite Robert Mike is not here in the Von Hansen's Meat Machine this season. We'll miss you, Bobby. Hope you're watching.
Wow, Connor Harrington sneaking in. So if you look at the top there, 707 for the pole, 708, 708, 711, 711, 715, 715, 716, 718, 718. So man, it's tight.
Got to admit, little bit surprised to see Brian Beard sitting at the top. Good for him. The Watchman, Mark Cohn, sitting in third.
Yeah, Mark's done a lot of practicing, and he's worked hard to get going up there. And this car's, even though the setups are fixed, there is a style or a technique to driving them fast, so it does take some practice.
35 drivers able to put in qualifying times. Adam Frazier, the rookie, did not so far, and Mike Rigney, who we know from last season, also didn't put in a time. Hopefully they'll be able to grid up out there. Still hear a few engines going on, and it looks like there's just about a minute left in qualifying. Am I right about that? So, Director, can we go to the grid? Let's go to it, huh? Brian Beard on the pole. Let's make sure I do this right. Do we have a grid call on this one? My first season, let's make sure I do. It's the butt kicker grid. Here we go. Brian Beard on the front row. Connor Harrington's going to be outside of him. Richie?
Right below them will be Mark Cohn and Damon Martinez.
Rookie last season, he's going to be fast. Veteran Brandon Limpman sits in the 5th position. He's flanked by Tony Schowen.
Starting 7th will be Brian Yazik, and starting 8th will be Dustin Wardlow.
Row 5 is filled with Stefan Larkamp and Nathan Lewis.
Christopher starting 11th, and Joe Branch starting 12th.
In the Baker's Dozen spot, it's Ron Hacker. Jason Galvin out there in 14th.
Big Joe Hassard starting 15th, and right next to him in 16th will be George Anzaldo.
Brian, it's not easy being Greenlee in the 17th position inside of Ken Hacker.
Tyler Graff coming in at 19th, and Michael Goodman starting 20th.
Blackjack is Chris Sleepy Lanini. In the double duck spot, finished second in the points last season, Andrew Havakech-Kinsella.
Samuel Ryman starting 23rd, and Justin Weaver starting 24th.
In the quarter century mark, Ajuna Kinkapati. And the number 26 car in the 26th position, Brian Carey.
Joshua Chin starting 27th, and watch out for this row. Joshua Chin and George Salmon starting 28th.
Sandman doing a little sleeping down there in 28th. Jay Brandt, Scott Holmes make the next row.
Jay Brandt, Scotty Johnson and Darren Ganji.
James Grahula and rookie Richard Holiday.
And then we got Bart Workman, Adam Frazier, and Mike Rigney bringing out the rear.
We got onboard cameras for you today. Let's see if we can get those in real quick. The first one we have is the Brandon Millinkman number 73 First Medical Equipment car, your source of medical supplies and equipment in the Burlington, Iowa area. Mark Cohn in the number 39 HyperX onboard camera. Whatever you play, however you play, HyperX knows we're all gamers. HyperX.com. Mike Rigney in the 00 -273 machine. Durable, breathable, lightweight racing gloves, -273.biz. And Darren Ganji in the number 51 Sim Experience onboard camera, second only to the real thing, simexperience.com. We've done it. And now, we're all gamers, and HyperX is always ready to go gaming. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. Brian Beard leads the Stampede down into the first corner, making a move to the outside. That is Connor Harrington. He doesn't like to wait. Look at the draft that's got by Mark Cohn, the Watchman. Back there looking at the two cars side by side in front of him. Back half of your top five. And Damon Martinez and Brandon Limpman.
Yeah, everybody kind of went single file, and then all of a sudden double file. And early on, you're going to be able to run that bottom line when the tires are good, but it wears those front tires out pretty quick. You're going to see the top groove, middle and top groove start coming as everybody's playing really nice with each other. We got 3 wide now going for second spot.
Look at them behind the leader, Brian Beard, who got credit with leading lap number 1 of the First Medical Equipment 200. And he comes across leading the second lap as well. They start to fan out behind him. Good racing.
Yeah, we got Brian Beard holding steady on the bottom on the white line. Mark Cohn holding steady. David Martinez was trying to make, here comes Mark Cohn. He's going to try to bring, and here comes Brandon Lincoln. No, who is that on the outside?
That is Connor Harrington on the outside in the dark car, yeah.
Yeah, Connor Harrington trying to go around the outside. Now Damon Martinez going to go around the outside of him if he can. So far, Brian Beard able to hold that white line. Easy going with these good tires. And as we get about 10, 20 laps into this stint, it's going to change a little bit. As now Connor Harrington is going to try to go around the outside. He's going to take that second position from Mark Cohn.
Good racing up front. Beard continues to stay on the low line. The front 5 drivers are the same as they qualified. Let me talk about the back half of your top 10 real quick. In 6th position, it is Tony Schowen. You got Chris Stouffer, Brian Yazik, Stefan Larkamp back there as well, and Nathan Lewis.
Yeah, everybody's playing pretty nicely with each other at the moment. We'll see how this shakes up. Everybody's, I think, kind of just feeling it out. First race of the year, a little bit nervous. Nothing too crazy. Brian Beard still able to hold that lead. Connor Harrington still working hard on the outside. Kind of pinching him down there under the bottom of the corner. Maybe scrubbing a little speed. He's going to try to get a run as they come off this corner here down the front stretch. That's going to bring Damon Martinez up into the draft, and it's going to poke up to the outside. I don't think he's going to be able to make that move.
They work lap number 7. We're going to go on board with car number 73, Brandon Limpkeman. The first medical equipment onboard camera looking ahead. Limpkeman currently in 6th position, while battling for 6th and 7th. Go ahead, Rich.
I was going to say, give a shout out to Chris Stouffer. He's all the way up to 3rd, started 11th, so he's definitely made some moves to kind of weasel his way up there. So nice job kind of getting into that area where, staying out of trouble. The whole pack kind of staying together at this moment. But, yeah, nice job by Chris.
If you're looking for Stouffer, he's the car second in on the outside of the second row, currently in 4th position. That's Stouffer in 3rd. That was Damon Martinez out there in 4th position. Now here comes Stouffer, looking to the outside, trying to go around Harrington and Bird.
Yeah, Stouffer got a good run, and he's going to pick up that outside draft. He's going to try to go around 3 wide as we go around. Oh, he's not going to be able to do it, but Connor Harrington is going to be able to stick his nose into the middle and try to take that lead from Brian Beard. It looks like he's got it.
Two other cars that are back there. That is Brian Yazik. And to the top side, Damon Martinez.
And you can see how that top groove is starting to kind of come in a little bit. Connor Harrington up in the lead. Brian Beard's dropped down to 3rd, but he's moved up to the top groove. Brian Yazik was challenging him a little bit for that spot, but Brian Beard's able to hold that lane up at top as the momentum carries on that top line.
So Stouffer now out in front, but that's going to be short-lived, as going underneath him is Connor Harrington. Always impressive. Connor had the early reputation of being fast, but never bringing the car home. They shed that reputation now. We expect him to have a great season. As that's set out, Chris Stouffer gets a great draft and goes around him.
Yeah, Chris Stouffer from 11th up to 1st. We had a couple guys drop down a little bit. We had Mark Cohn start 3rd. He's faded a little bit to 6th. Not too far back, but kind of just maybe taking a little bit easy at the beginning. That's basically what I would do. Just kind of let it play out a little bit. We're on board with the HyperX camera with Mark Cohn.
That's Jostic going to the inside. Damon Martinez to the outside there. Now Martinez ducks underneath. Brian Beard. Beard beginning to fall after he started up front. Give 3rd position now to Martinez. Front 2 begin to pull away.
Looks like Connor Harrington and Chris Stouffer kind of playing leapfrog with each other, and the gap in the 2nd, 3rd spot a little bit. They got 0.6 of a second, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot on an oval. These guys are going back and forth, playing really well with each other.
You saw them just at the top of your screen as they start to open it up. There's Harrington. Here comes Stouffer. This is not a wee all the way home. No, baby, that's a big toe. Chris Stouffer slingshots right around Connor Harrington. And
Meanwhile,
let's
right
give
behind
Stoker
them.
credit for leading lap 17. Go, Rich.
I was just going to say, right. Meanwhile, right behind them, they're battling pretty hard for third spot with Martinez, Beard, and Yazik are kind of going back and forth with each other, bringing Cohn and Limkerman. And that's bringing the rest of the pack up for them. So really, it's Chris Stouffer and Connor Harrington. They got a full second gap now on Damon Martinez. So they're doing a good job kind of getting away from that group and doing their own thing. Meanwhile, everybody else behind them are battling pretty hard for that third spot and back.
It's funny, when you look at the box score of this race tomorrow, you're going to see that Connor Harrington's been leading a lot of laps, but that's really not the case. They've been swapping positions on the front and back straight every time. This time, Stouffer's going to get credit with leading the lap, as they did not make the dance step on the back straight as they have done so many times before. Huge train back here, mid-pack.
Now we got Michael Goodman. Started 20th all the way up to third. Oh, we got car. Oh, no, I think that was, I don't know what that was.
Big
we
problem.
got big problem
Brian
in the back coming off
Carey
of turn
involved
4.
in it. Let's see where this thing started. Justin Weaver involved in it. He did a barrel roll.
Yeah, they kind of went into turn 1 there. And
I believe it might have started with Tony Schowen. I think Tony Schowen got in the wall. Oh, he got a little bit of help. Tony Schowen got a little bit of help from our pole sitter, Brian Beard. Brian Beard continues to drive cleanly. Schowen gets a little bit of a hip check into the wall. There's Schowen going around the top side. There's Beard, gets into him. Then all the other cars come in and they did some mess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a big mess there. Yeah.
But right on board with Beard. Let's see if we can look over his right shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact, and unfortunately, when you're running that close to each other in that type of pack, that's what's going to happen sometimes. So, first caution flag of the night. Looks like Tony Schowen's out of the race.
They've gone far enough, so they're going to come on in and take a pit stop. We'll monitor this, see if everybody comes in. There's always a few drivers up will stay out and roll around, get credit with leading a lap.
Looks like Lanini stayed out as Chris Stouffer comes out of his box nice and clean. He's going to lead that pack out with Connor Harrington second, Damon Martinez, Yazik, but it does look like Chris Lanini is going to actually assume the lead here.
At least for now. Well, this gives us an opportunity to look at our race analysis, find out how far we're racing, how far can we race. We bring that up. 134 laps. I believe that's 200 miles if you do the math. We think a maximum fuel stint about 40. They went about half of that before the yellow came out. So let's figure the next stop around lap 60. And the new incident rule. There's no levels of incidents now. You get to 20, you're simply DQ'd and you lose 10 points. In the previous seasons, it was kind of a slow burn to the very end. But
a little bit of a tiered thing. They got rid of that. So just you get disqualified, lose 10 points. Yeah, Lanini's in, so he's going to take his stop and shuffle to the back of the line.
Spotlighted driver. We're not going to bring up the graphic on it yet, but we are just going to monitor what Big Joe Hazard does today. We'll talk a little bit more about that one a little later in the race. But Big Joe is here. Started in 15th, up to 7th. Talked about drivers who have victories here at Homestead. Hazard has 2 to his career credit. The other driver that has 2? Well, Andrew Kinsella.
Who, he's not here either tonight, which I'm surprised. Oh, yeah, he is. Sorry, Andrew.
Well,
I just saw you there in 20th spot. Sorry.
But in relationship to what you expect from Andrew Kinsella, I think you probably said it. He's not here.
Yeah. Usually he's up in the top 10 when we're calling it, but no, he's here. He's right behind Joshua Chin. Joshua Chin doing a good job, 27 to 19th. George Salmon kind of stalled out, and we're green again.
Stouffer, Harrington, Martinez, these guys are all good qualifiers. Stouffer coming from 11th. Yazik in the mix back there. And the Watchman.
Everybody single file. Here comes Connor Harrington going down to the bottom. With fresh tires, you can run that bottom lane pretty easily. That's going to bring Damon Martinez right up to the side of Chris Stouffer. So put Connor Harrington in the point with Chris Stouffer, but here comes the rest of the pack. So that 1 second gap that they had is gone.
Far and fourth back there is Brian Yazik. And we talked about Hassard. There he is in 5th spot. Our spotlighted driver. 2 career wins at Homestead right now. He's at 4th, working to get up to 3rd as he goes underneath Stouffer. He gets a great tow from Martinez. Richie, does the bottom line wear out the tires a little bit more? Is it not so bad?
I found out last night I could run about 3 or 4 laps right along the bottom, and then after that, I could tell I was going to have to lift a little bit to keep from washing up from everybody, and you just have to start moving the groove up. But at the beginning of the stint, yeah, definitely the bottom lane. But as we saw later in that run, as Damon Martinez and Big Joe's come around the outside of Connor Harrington, nice job by Big Joe. But you're going to see this groove kind of start pushing up a little bit. You can still drive down there, but you have to lift at that point.
Don't tell me Big Joe Hassard doesn't watch the broadcast. We mentioned him as our spotlighted driver, and just then he started to make his move. Right now, boy, he is in amongst it, though.
He's caught right in the middle. Now it separates out to 2 wide, but he was right in the middle going to 3 or 4. Now here comes Damon Martinez right to the outside, squeezing Big Joe down onto Chris Stouffer and then back 2 wide. You can see how Damon's starting to work that outside line, and you can really get that run as you get that draft just right, and that's going to start working for him later into the stint. Ooh,
One
Connor
yellow flag so far. Boy, yeah, I agree.
Got a good run and really had to pull out quickly behind Chris Stouffer. He almost hit the back of him, but that's going to put him back up in the point. Big Joe hanging on to 3rd place. Now here comes Chris Stouffer. He's going to get that run down to the bottom lane, bring Big Joe with him, and Damon Martinez is going to try to go around the outside.
I hate to take you away from it, Director. I want to go to car number 99, Michael Goodman. He's up several positions. Racing in 10th, started in 20th. The New Yorker has a way of kind of being there when he needs to be there right now. Just racing mid-pack right now. The driver in front of him, Nathan Lewis.
Yeah, Nathan Lewis, not a name we've talked a lot about either. He's done a good job holding steady in that 9th position, starting 10th. Michael Goodman's going to go right along the bottom of him. Stefan Larkamp hanging in there as well. Looks like these guys are just trying to kind of just find their spot, stay within the leaders or touch the leaders and stay out of trouble. We got a long ways to go.
A little bit farther back, Jason Galvin just looking at what's going on in front of him, racing in 12th. Ron Hacker back in 13th. All these guys still in the main draft. In fact, the interval all the way back to 15th position, under 2 seconds. Gonna go on board with Darren Ganji. The Sim Experience onboard camera. Ganji currently in 22nd position. Up 10 spots from where he started. The 3 cars ahead of him, That's the guy we always think is the sleeper. I don't mean to make the pun. That's George Sandman. Richie, ovals maybe not his forte. I think he's thinking, oh, he's working on Tyler Graff.
He's talked about he's not a big fan of the ovals. He's just got to try to learn the craft a little bit and kind of the ebb and flow of it. He's really good on the road courses. So if he wants to run well in the championship, just kind of do okay in the ovals and run strong on the road courses.
20 races on the schedule. 7 of them are on the twisty courses. 13 on the ovals. That's Stouffer. Go underneath Harrington. Damon Martinez, we watched as a rookie be very, very, very strong. No longer a rookie, sitting in third.
Looks like we still have 28 cars running here with Mike Rigney in 28th position. I have noticed George Gonzalez in the pits. He's sitting in his car, so he hasn't exited his car, but he's 5 laps down at the moment, so I don't know if he'll get back out there or not.
It's also always good to see George racing.
And Connor Harrington's going to go to the bottom lane and take that spot away from Christopher. These guys played this game early on, just back and forth. They're starting to do it again, and they're just starting to gap that third place. So they've really got this little trick down.
28 drivers of the 37 still on the lead lap. Big crash took out a lot of big names. George Anzaldo, Brian Greenlee, James Krahula, Justin Weaver, Jay Brandt, Brian Carey, Samuel Ryman, Tony Schowen, and Scotty Johnson. A lot of fan favorites down there in that list.
Up front, Christopher and Connor Harrington going back and forth. We've already seen this game before, and they've opened up 8/10 of a second. Meanwhile, Damon Martinez and Joe Branch running side by side. They need to start playing this game as well if they want to catch this group.
Lincomman sitting in 6th position. We ride on board with him. The first medical equipment onboard camera. The car directly in front. That's Joe Hassard. Hassard is kind of pinned, though. He's got Martinez to the top and Joe Branch right in front of him. Back there in what we like to call the popcorn position, Brian Lincomman just watching the show.
Yeah, those guys are in a good spot. If we go green, they're going to be able to save some fuel. Those 2 guys up front, Connor and Stouffer, or Harrington and Stouffer, are just, they're going to be flat out. Those guys like Big Joe, Damon Martinez, even Brandon Lincoln and Brian Yazek are kind of just cruising along. We do have some action right behind them with Mark Cohn going to the inside of Stefan Larkamp. Mark Cohn, our 3rd place starter, finds himself back in 9th at the moment.
And Richie, that's really the story of the race right now. What Stouffer and Harrington are doing, they've got it down to a little bit of a dance. They know the choreography. It's watching these other guys start to work their way up. You'll see in that mix, car number 99, Michael Goodman. We talked about him. He was in 10th. Well, now he's up to 8th. Another name back there you can't forget about. Jason Galvin sits in 11th. Up a few spots.
Now we go back even farther to Joshua Chin, started 27th. Up to 15th. I'm watching him. He's working that high line. He just went around Ken Hacker.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. He went around Ron Hacker. Yeah, now Joshua Chin's got Ken behind him, but Josh is doing a good job. And he's kind of leading that last group up to the middle pack.
I mean, with the kind of flu problem that's going around right now, you don't want a couple hackers behind you there, but that's what he's got. With Ken and Ron. Uh-oh, I see smoke. But I guess we're okay. I saw smoke just ahead of these guys. I guess we're okay. Didn't mean to scare you, boys and girls.
Yeah, I think we have a couple of guys that are blinking a little bit and causing that smoke.
Meanwhile, Stouffer now 0.3 of a second on Harrington.
Yeah, he's kind of gapped Harrington a little bit. All the Harrington's going to be able to get in the draft, but might be seeing a little bit on the tire wears. So what? We're 25 laps into this, right? Into this stint.
Indeed.
And we went 20 laps before, so we're a little bit in uncharted territories. So we'll see how this plays out.
Let's go ahead and focus in on the driver that's just behind these guys. This is Joe Branch. Now, Joe started 12th, and he's beginning to come up and run these guys down.
Yeah, he's separated himself out from that group behind him, and he's slowly catching up to Connor. He's about 0.7 of a second behind. He needs a couple more tenths to kind of pick up that draft, but you know, this is where it kind of comes in to see kind of running the groove that works best for you as far as not scrubbing as much speed. And some of these guys are starting to figure it out a little better than others as the field's spreading out. This field's spreading out a little bit, excuse me.
They are running a fixed setup. Everybody is in the same car, so you wouldn't expect like one car to go away, but maybe the car setup, it starts to come into what you prefer. And Joe Branch seems to be happy with how the car handles here on 25 lap old tires.
Yeah, I found out last night that the setup's really good, but you can affect it a little bit. If you try to run the bottom too long, you're going to wear that tire out. And if you got too much steering angle in it, or if you lift and or try to go full, there's some things you can do, little subtleties you can do to kind of help preserve that car, and that's what you want. You want to have some driver skill involved.
Director, let's block back to 6th position. This is where the action is. This is Limkeman being tailed by Brian Yazik. Now Brian looks to get to the inside. They are going to go side by side. These guys have been fighting it out. Michael Goodman, and we've been watching his progress through the field, sitting back in 8th, within striking distance of 6th. We talked about Jason Galvin. I'm telling you, these guys listen to the broadcast. Galvin up to 9th.
Yeah, these guys are doing a good job. And Brian Yazik's going to go around the outside of Brandon Linkerman. He was on the bottom, then decided to go to the top. And right now, I think the top groove is where you want to be because you can really carry that momentum. Ooh,
that's the top groove for Michael Goodman.
Yeah, that was the super top groove, and he hits the wall again down the straightaway. So that's not going to help. Just got a little bit high coming into turn 4, it looked like.
Director, this is going to be a long replay because, as Richie said, he hits it.
You see him, look how much angle he's got in that steering, and just washes up, and then he's going to hit it again.
Not done. Yeah.
Right? Boom.
I think he was trying to straighten it out on that last one.
Yeah.
One more time.
He's lost a lot of momentum, too. He's dropped a couple of spots, and the rest of the pack's coming as Andrew Kinsella. Nathan Lewis has gone by. Andrew Kinsella's going around the outside. So right now, Goodman's looking for yellow. Oh, he's going to come in. He's coming in. He obviously has more issues than we thought.
Is that fixable, Richie? Do you think they can?
I don't know. If he's got a toe problem, it's going to take a while. If he just has a front wing problem, maybe. But maybe he's just going to decide to like come in.
Yeah,
it's close enough. 33 laps, take the stop, and hopefully he doesn't get a yellow right now.
I think Michael Goodman knew that nothing good was going to come from him staying out. He was. If he needed a yellow, he was going to be the reason for it. Oh, look at this battle here. This is 11th, 12th, and 13th. This involves the Watchman, who started in 3rd. He seems to like the car early on fresh rubber. He struggles a little bit. There's the driver who finished 2nd in the points last season, Andrew Kinsella, working on the top side. Nathan Lewis, who I don't know a lot about back there in watching on the inside, and the car with momentum on top. Woo, here he goes.
Yeah,
that's Ken Hacker.
Him and Ken Hacker going around the outside. Andrew Kinsella doing a good job. We saw a lot of this last year, not qualifying very good, but really does a good job in the race. If he can stay out of trouble. He did get caught in some wrecks, unfortunately, starting that far back. It hurt his chances, but doing a good job. Started 22nd, up 11 spots to 11th. Kind of with the momentum now, looking at the back of Dustin Wardlow.
Goodman is out. He only was in the box for 12 seconds, so Maybe they got the car fixed for Michael. On the top side with momentum.
Yeah,
That's Joe Hassard
Joe.
going around the branch.
Doing a good job going around the outside of Joe Branch. I think you can see as we get closer to the end of this stint, people are the passes are happening, but going around the outside. So you just got to find a lane that you can work with and stick with it. But I think the outside lane is what's working. Work with 37 laps. They said 40. So we'll see. We got to be coming in within 3-5 laps, I'd say. We're going to start hopefully get some green flag stops.
Look off the wing of Hassard back at Joe Branch. Hassard, our spotlighted driver. We'll bring up a graphic for him a little bit later. We're going to roll the dice a little bit and assume that Joe can keep the car out there on the track. There is the curse of the featured driver that they tend to get into trouble early before we get to talk about him. That's not going to happen in the season opener for Big Joe. Not with a man who already has 2 wins here at Homestead to his record.
Gotta give a shout out to Chris Stouffer, man. He has left Connor Harrington. He's at 1.3 seconds up ahead. Connor Harrington struggling a little bit as Big Joe and Joe Branch as they race. They're starting to leapfrog their way up to Connor. Should be getting pit stops pretty soon. I'm going to keep an eye on Chris here to see when he comes in. We do get some green flag stops. That pit lane entry, that little lane you got to take around 3 and 4 is really tough.
This is a 40-lap stint, but of course, a few of those were under yellow. Stouffer going around one more time. I expect somebody's going to come in. You don't want to come in and happen to get caught up by yellow because you will go a lap down. Just to emphasize that point, Goodman's a lap down after making his fast stop. Joshua Chin, another driver who took a second stop, is a lap down. There's Mike Rigney back in 21st position, looking up at Brian Beard. Rigney just went a lap down with his minus 273 onboard camera machine.
Pit stops happening.
Tighten up those gloves.
Leader's in, Stouffer, Harrington's in. Damon Martinez. Oh, Damon Martinez coming in hot. He might have been. Oh, we got to spin. Oh, these guys are coming in hot. And we might have some speeding penalties. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Martinez, if you watch him right at the end, he's going to be sideways going across those yellow cones right here. You can see him lock it up. So we'll see if he's down to the speed limit. I got a speeding penalty last night, and it's 40-second hold. So I lost 3 laps doing that.
Well, you know, we're here in Miami. That's real close to Cuba. There's an old Cuban saying, "Vista me despacio que tengo prisa," which means dress me slowly, I'm in a hurry. And that's what you want to do when you're making your pit stop. You don't want to go so fast that you pick yourself up a penalty.
Yeah, he's stuck in the box there, and that 40 seconds, I mean, we're only doing 25-second laps, so you can do the math on that. It's a good 2 laps you're going to lose just by sitting there.
Branch is finally in, pitting from the lead. He went a long time, 45 laps. And now Branch begins to roll.
Right now,
Limpman is starting to roll behind him.
Chris Stouffer had a big gap on Connor Harrington. Now Connor Harrington is right on the back of him. So looks like Connor had about 0.8 of a second faster. Pit stop 0.7. He's going by him now. So is Big Joe, and they're bringing Brian Yazik.
Finally, Stouffer gets it up to speed. He's going to slot out in second. But you are right. He had opened up a big lead. That's all gone. Harrington, Stouffer, Hassard, Yazik, your front 4. And then, here's Joshua Chin. Now, he's on kind of a different strategy. He's been out there for 11 laps.
Yeah, he came in. We didn't see him come in, but he obviously came in a little earlier. His pit stop was short, too. It was only 4.7 seconds long. 4 seconds faster than Connor Harrington, so he short pitted that to get him up. But now obviously he's going to be, he's 8 laps shorter on fuel. So if he can get a yellow flag, that's going to work out great for him.
You start to wonder if he didn't do the math, counting like 40 laps back from the 134, figuring out how far he's going. A new leader. Harrington gets around Stouffer. That driver in the mix, that's Nathan Lewis, the third car in line. He's a lap down. Yazik on the inside. The car with the momentum on the top is Hazard. Lewis trying to make that car as skinny as it can be. Keeping it up high. And sure enough, Yazik gets clear of him. Big Joe Hazard gets clear of him. The interval back now to Joe Branch, 2 seconds. And let me, as I say that, Branch and Chin doing a little bit of leapfrog going on. Now Chin out in front. Here comes Branch.
Yeah, they're playing that game. It's only, that's the smart play. Don't race each other. Let's try to get up to that group. Going off of that strategy for Josh Chin, sometimes you just got to roll the dice. And, if you can't get up there on the track, you might as well get up there in track position. And your only hope is that a yellow flag doesn't come out at the wrong time. It's all worked out for them right now. But, yeah, these guys are doing a good job. Leapfrog on their way to try to get up there.
The best news for them is Nathan Lewis, the car that's a lap down. He might he can be like kind of a stepping stone for these guys if they can get on his coattails and pull themselves up to the front 5. The interval between Yazik and whoever it is, Chin or Branch, whoever it is at the time, about 2.4 seconds. You can see it on your tower there, the Lionheart Racing Series HyperX tower sitting on your left. Great to have HyperX on board with us. So many great sponsors here. And not only the Lionheart IndyCar Series, but the Retro Series that you'll see in 8 days here on ISN and GRSC. Try that again, GSRC. I did it right.
Yeah, we're watching Chin and, Chin and Branch trying to leapfrog their way. Up front, Connor Harrington and Stouffer's doing the same thing. What they did earlier, they're not pulling away, though, from Big Joe's and Yazik. They're able to stay in that draft. They're bringing Nathan Lewis along with them, who's 2 laps down. But this is basically our group of 4 and a group of 2 trying to catch up to that group of 4.
25 cars on the lead lap, the last one being Michael Goodman. Don't forget about him. If he can get a timely yellow flag, he can get back in the mix. Remember, we saw him bounce it off the wall a couple times. Damon Martinez, after he had his pit stop issues, he is a lap down. Director, let's go to 7th. Here's a driver I'm telling you, keep an eye on. Jason Galvin. He's in there with Andrew Kinsella. Couple big names, Richie, and they're doing a little dance. Seeing if they can get up in the mix.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's doing the same thing instead of racing each other, just trying to get back up to the front pack. They're bringing along Brandon Linkerman and Richard Holiday. Richard Holiday, we haven't talked about at all. He started 34, and he's sitting in 10th, so nicely done. He's one of our Rookie of the Year candidates.
Quick scan through there. Joshua Chin, another rookie, sits in 6th. Holiday in 10th. Nice 4-car battle going on there. Holiday back there. Happy to let the veterans do the work right now. Galvin and Kinsella.
Yeah, if you want to do the leapfrog thing, it really only works with 2 cars. But if you're right behind them, if you just kind of keep picking the draft just right, you just stay right with them. We're seeing that up front with Christopher and Connor Harrington doing all the work, and then Big Joe and Brian kind of tagging along, also bringing along Nathan Lewis there.
Yeah.
And we're kind of seeing the same thing with Andrew Kinsella and Jason Galvin.
You see those 4
Brandon
cars?
Linkerman and Richard Holiday.
Yeah. They continue to do what they do. Let's go back up front real quick. I want to talk about Lewis. I was thinking that he was going to fall off and become a stepping stone for the guys that were trying to get there. That's not the case. Lewis doing a great job of staying on the back. In fact, he goes around. Well, that's Michael Goodman now who goes a lap down. Lewis is actually 2 laps down. You know, to see Goodman go a lap down like that and now having trouble staying with the front pack, you just got to assume that that car's not feeling good. Working here, lap number 81. Chris Stouffer, Connor Harrington, your leaders. They continue to swap back and forth. Big Joe Hazard sitting back there in third with Yazik looking on. And as they work around, working lap number 83. I believe what we're going to do right now is take a quick break. Don't go far. We'll be back to get you all the way to the end. Welcome back to the iRacing Esport Network and the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of the first Medical Equipment 200, Round 1, Season 8 of the Lionheart IndyCar Series. You didn't miss much while we were away. You saw it as we went side by side. Chris Stouffer, our leader right now. Continuing to work with Harrington. Honestly, it depends on what part of the track they are about who's in front. Go, Richard.
Yeah, these guys are running really hard up front. Still, now you can see how they're trying to break away a little bit, and they are. Those guys aren't able to stay in that draft. They're doing a really good job. This is about the third or fourth time we've seen them do this, and they've got about a second gap. And if we can just go green the whole way, this is going to work out for them. I don't see us going green the whole way. We're going to still have at least one more pit stop.
Only one yellow flag so far. The stint is about 25 laps. We expect a pit stop in about 15, and that will be the final stop, we think. Let's go ahead and run you through the field real quick, tell you what's going on. You got the two cars up front of Harrington and Stouffer. They continue to dance. You see them side by side across the line right now. Give the nod to Stouffer on this one. But they've opened up a gap. It's about almost a second back to Joe Hazard and Brian Yazik. The third car in line, that's Nathan Lewis. The driver in fifth, that's Joe Branch trying to climb up there, claw up there. He left Joshua Chin. These guys were racing together. Chin was not able to keep up. Remember, Chin's got about 11 lap older tires. And then, back in seventh and eighth, Galvin and Kinsella, both with the experience and the skill to win this thing if they can get up front.
You know, I didn't see this race playing out this way. If you really look at it, we got a group of two. I don't count Nathan Lewis because he's 2 laps down with Big Joe and Brian, and then a group of 2 with Branch and Chin, and then a group of 2 with Galvin and Kinsella, and then a group of 2 with Linkerman and Holiday. And it's just 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I thought this would be a lot more of a pack race, but these guys are playing it smart, and got to give credit to Stouffer and Harrington. They were in a pack and then decided just to work together, and if we can keep going, it's just going to be just a fight between these guys.
Talked about your pack of 2. We're on one right now. That's Rigney just ahead of Mark Cohn, the watchman. Well, we should mention that our pole sitter, Brian Beard, is back there now in 20th.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if he had a bad pit stop or what, but he ran up front for a while, led a bunch of laps, and some reason he's got himself caught back into the back there and Cohn started 3rd as well. So race hasn't played out like these guys want. These guys desperately need a yellow to pack this up, as Mark Cohn is coming into the pit lane.
Coming in pretty early. He's on only been 30 laps for him. Director, let's go up to car number 11 in 3rd place. Let's go ahead and bring up our graphic here. Oh, so we're going to look here at the, wait for Cohn to come out. I think we've rolled the dice far enough. Here's our spotlighted, our featured driver, Big Joe Hassert. What do we know about him? Well, he has a ton of starts. You can see it right there, 141. Surprisingly, he has more wins than poles. That's an unusual feature. Made his first start back in season 1 at Michigan. That's one of our Triple Crown venues. Got his first win. Well, we talked about it right here at Homestead. He's got another one to go with it. Him and Andrew Kinsella each have 2. Joe Hassert in great position to pick up a 3rd one today as he races in 3rd. Thank you to HyperX for spotlighting that speech, for sponsoring that feature.
Yeah, going back to the pit stop by Mark Cohn, he's now 2 laps down because of that. I don't know. He was right at that 40 lap mark, basically. So I don't know if he decided, I'm going to pit now and just hope for the best. It was a pretty early stop, but he is now 2 laps down, but he should be good to go till the end. Meanwhile, the leaders are still out there working lap 35, 36 of the stint. Person we got to keep an eye on is, I guess he pitted, is Joshua Chin, because he was...
he did.
Yeah, he did pit, so he's now a lap down, but he's going to be good to go.
It was on that alternate strategy. In fact, it'll be fun to watch him when he comes out here. He'll be down, but he'll be quick because he'll have some new rubber.
And if we go up to the leader real quick, you just saw Mark Cohn go around Chris Stouffer to get a lap back. So you can see the benefit of having those fresh tires. He just took the bottom lane and just went right underneath of Chris Stouffer. So this guy's struggling a little bit at the bottom, or at the top of the pit board. Sorry, the top of the pit cycle with those tires. And Mark's trying to take advantage of that.
Cohn now gets 1 lap down. It was 2 laps down, now he's down 1. But when the leaders make their stop, he should be back on the lead lap. Here comes a few more. How about Joe Branch? Jason Galvin. They'll be good to go. And again, listening to that Cuban saying, dress me slowly. I'm in a hurry. Galvin gets the car a little bit sideways, leaving. He comes out in front of rookie Richard Holiday.
Harrington stays out. Big Joe comes in, got up on the grass on that warm-up lane, but he's going to get slowed down.
So it's taking a quick look. The leaders of all the cars who've pitted 3 times would be Stouffer.
And got to point out, David Martinez was in our lead pack before, and with that speeding penalty, he's still 3 laps down. So that really killed his race.
All right, Stouffer is rolling out.
Harrington in, Kinsella out still, Limkerman out, Wardlow still out. Ooh, Wardlow and looks like Steven, who was that? Martinez almost got together, but still kept it together.
Okay. Richie, you saw it? Tell me what you see. While this is going on, I can tell you that Harrington's coming out. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, you can see he comes right down to the bottom and just kind of really squeezes Harrington up or Martinez up, and they almost come to contact. Martinez almost into the wall as well. It's kind of getting mixed bag here with everybody pitting, some on different strategies, different tire wears. Really kind of getting weird.
Well, I think the car to watch is 7th position Chris Stouffer. He came out, and trying to stay with him was Harrington. Harrington couldn't get it rolling. Joe Hassard is in 8th overall right now. I think that's going to be 2nd and 3rd right now. The leader is right in front of him. That is Dustin Wardlow, who's your leader. He needs to make another stop. Yeah, Wardlow is on the top side.
Yeah, these guys are going to swallow him up. But, yeah, Chris Stouffer did a good job getting a little bit of gap. Great job by Big Joe because he wasn't anywhere near these guys on that last pit stop. Now, here they come.
Oh, man.
Right behind each other. They're going to freight train Chris Stouffer around the outside. Big Joe doing a great job. Ooh, that was close as he goes right down to the bottom. And Big Joe's going to have the lead here if he can hold that white line. Looks like he is.
This is what is a battle for 6th, but we believe it will be the battle for the lead when everything's said and done. Beard, Graff, Wardlow, Hacker, Darren Ganji all need to make another stop. Let me collect myself. Now, Dustin Wardlow says 3. Oh, he's in right now. That's why.
Yeah, the battle for the lead is going to be what we are watching between Stouffer, Harrington, and Joe. Brian Yazik's not too far back. He's kind of running by himself, but then he's got Joe Branch, Joshua Chin back up there working together. Jason Galvin and Richard Holiday and Andrew Kinsella all in that pack.
In fact, Beard and Graff make their final stop. So that's going to settle things down. You're looking at a 3-car battle there. That's Harrington going underneath the Stouffer. Hassard looking on. And sure enough, Brian Yazik is in the mix.
Yeah, so making a 4-car battle. So he's done a good job. We haven't really talked about him much. Mentioned him here and there, but now here he is in the top 4 with 24 laps to go.
We talked about Joe Branch being well at the back. He got off in pit strategy. He is 1.1 second back. You can see it on the HyperX tower as we ride on board with Joe Branch.
Yeah, Joe Branch trying to do it alone. He's kind of dropped Joshua Chin a little bit. Joshua Chin has got, he's kind of by himself. He does have Nathan Lewis, who's still 2 laps down, hanging in there. What they need to do, these guys need to start working together.
We look at the front pack. I'm just going to talk about Brian Beard, our pole sitter. He's back in 21st position. Another driver that we saw fall right away was the watchman, Mark Cohn. He gridded on the inside of row 2. He's back in 17th. We're going to look at Mark Cohn. Started in such good position, but just didn't seem to have a feel from the car as soon as we went green.
Yeah, him and Brian Beard both. They were running up there at the beginning and really faded. Mark's pitted early. He's going to struggle at the end with his tires, trying to hopefully for a yellow, but sitting in 17th, but probably not happy with that after starting 3rd.
That group just ahead was more drivers that we really haven't heard much from. Sandman, Larkamp, Lanini, Wardlow, and Ken Hacker.
Yeah, Sandman not really doing as much as I thought. I thought he'd be a little quicker. He started 28th up to 16th, but he started right around where Andrew Kinsella was. Up front, that battle is going heavy up here. But there's Sandman on the screen right there, kind of hanging in, probably just looking to get a decent finish to start the season.
20 to go. Put on your disco shoes. We need the funk. Gotta have the funk. It's time to boogie. And with apologies to the rest of the field with lap times of about 24 seconds, we're going to spend most of our attention looking up front here.
Yeah, with basically Harrington and Stover trying to play that game, that leapfrog game. They had a little bit of traffic with Darren Ganji, but now it's still almost a 4-car battle. Big Joe and Yazik hanging in there, but these guys still working the magic they were working before. And if they want to get a gap, now is the time.
Ganji in 24th position, the first car 1 lap down. It is a 4-car battle for the lead. Harrington. Let's go ahead and look at the 4 cars that are fighting for the lead as we go on board with Darren Ganji.
Yeah, he's got a really good view of what's going on with the lead. He's right there. I mean, he's got a pretty quick car. Whatever situation happened has put him back a couple of laps. But right now, he's got a good view of the 3 in front. Well, the 4 in front. He's right behind Yaz. If he wants to be a helpful hand, he should be a leapfrog with these guys.
I don't know. Oh, getting in the wall with Joe Hassard. Can we get a replay director? He's had such a good race. I don't know how serious this was, but I saw the car take a big jump.
I don't think it was that bad, but it definitely caught his attention. Just kind of enters the corner a little bit high. And he's gonna go down to the middle, and then you're gonna see him come up. And that might be a little bit farther into the lap here.
Just right there. That was it. Boy, it didn't look so bad in car. Looked a lot worse when I was watching from afar. The car seems to be okay.
Yeah, he's hanging in there. Now I'm watching Connor Harrington. He's the lead. He's not, he's starting to block Christopher a little bit. You know it's coming. Ooh, caution flag.
Oh, Dustin Wardlow, and he gets tagged again after going in the wall. This is Dustin Wardlow. Involved in it is Ken Hacker, Chris Lanini. And then the car that clips him going by, takes a hard shot, is one we're going to want to watch from is Stefan Larkamp. Okay. We're going to get it. Wardlow gets up in the wall. Has just got too many cars in one spot. And then Larkamp. Woo!
Oh, that was a big wreck right there.
Let's go
There's
on.
Too many cars. Everybody's trying to take one spot.
You be the driver. You decide to go high or low. Look at this. Look how much time he has to react. I got room. I don't have room. But apparently, Larkamp may have come out of that okay, I guess. No, it looked pretty bad. He's coming in for pits, as is everybody, I think, right?
Yeah. I think everybody's going to come in so you can get those fresh tires. Not so much fuel, get those fresh tires.
Oh, somebody's got to stay out. Somebody was back of the pack. Stay out for me, guys. Are they all coming in? If Samuel Ryman was here, he'd stay out. Missed you, Sammy. Darren Ganji stays out to get his lap back, but everybody who was on the lead lap, I guess, came in. Nope. Okay. Let me correct myself. George Sandman staying out. Now, George was about in 15th when the yellow came out. Now he's your leader. If he stays out, will he finish ahead of 15th? Probably, right? Or not? No,
I think he might. You know, if he can make his car kind of wide. I mean, there's only, by the time we go green again, he's only going to have about 10 laps left. And if he can get a good start, don't get swallowed up, he might be able to finish. I'm going to say he finished. I'm just going to put a number down right now. I say he finishes 10th.
The car ahead of him, that's Nathan Lewis. He'll get the wave by. Ganji is on the lead lap. He'll get to go around the pace car as well. Well, I'm glad we focused on George. We said, if you don't know Sandman, he's really good on a twisty circuit. We're going to pay some bills. We'll be back before we go green to wrap this thing up. Don't go far. Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of the first Medical Equipment 200, Round 1, Season 8 of the Lionheart IndyCar Series. Our leader is George Sandman. He stayed out. He's got two cars in front of him, and the lights are off the pace car. So I guess we're going to start with Ganji behind the pace car right now, or is he not going to get the wave around? I would have expected Ganji to get the wave around. He's in 22nd position, and Lewis, but that's not going to happen. So our leader is going to be third in line, unless they throw a yellow here again and let this shake out.
Oh, there they go.
There
go.
That's a late
wave around.
Oh my gosh. All right. They'll be full song when they come around to the field. The beautiful Medina Mendez pulls in the pace car. In control of the field will be George Sandman, but he's got 19 lap old tires. Behind him with fresh rubber, Connor Harrington. Sandman out in front and down into corner number 1. He'll get a big lead. These guys are going to gobble him up. We'll see how Sandman does as he can hang in. 10 laps to go. Stouffer in third, Hassard and Branch. We saw Hassard put the car in the wall. We're not sure how healthy it is. Up front, Sandman keeps the car on the inside. They're going to be 3 wide. The fresh rubber is going to pay off as the 2 cars with the fresh rubber go outside. Look at Sandman fight to hold that spot.
Yeah, he needs to just hold the bottom and just hope. Oh, we got a big wreck in the back. Big wreck in the back. Yellow flag.
It starts with the rookie, number 78, Arnuja Kapaki, also involved in it. Going well over the car was Brandon Limkeman involved in this one as well. As we look at it, iRacing scores Harrington ahead of Stouffer with Sandman in third. I think there might maybe a little, you can see a little smoke in front and then they get together. They might have been trying to avoid something that happened in front of them. Oh, mercy. Well, with 8 to go, this ended up being, Richie, really good news for Sandman because the less laps he has to do under green, the better for him.
Yeah, you can see how he's just kind of getting swallowed up there with the new tires to old. But once again, 7 to go. 3 or 4 laps under here. Like I say, I'm still going to stick with my guns that he finishes 10th. So if he doesn't get caught, I was going to say, if he doesn't get caught up in a wreck, he's going to finish better than 15th. I guarantee that.
The 5th car in line is Joe Hassard. His car does not look really good. He hasn't been that competitive since we saw him scrape the wall. Maybe we'll get to talk to him in victory lane when we do our interview, see if that's the fact. Yasic is in 6th. Kinsella, second in points last season, sitting in 7th. Top rookie Joshua Chin in 8th. Galvin in 9th, and another rookie, Richard Holiday, in 10th. But Richie, truly the class of the field today has been Harrington and Stouffer. So if there's any justice, it's nice to see those guys up front.
Yeah, these guys have been up front pretty much 80% of the time, and they've done a good job at just kind of working together. Obviously, it doesn't matter now as everybody's grouped up, but by doing that, they've kept themselves out of the messes. And, same thing with Joe Branch, Big Joe, Brian Yazik. Got to give a shout out to Kinsella and Chin moving up from 22nd to 27th. It's up to the top 10. So kind of seeing the cream rise to the top a little bit. We've had some bad luck from some guys. That's just part of oval racing, but we have seen some good racing up front.
We saw Joe Branch early on make his way up to the front from 12th position. That car can certainly do it. Give a tip of the hat to car number 51, Darren Ganji. He was a couple laps down. He's now got himself into 20th. Last car on the lead lap. Good race from him. Another rookie. There's our onboard cameras. He looks at the 19 cars in front of him. The car directly in front of him, rookie Adam Frazier. We have 6 to go. The pace car will come in. We'll have ourselves a 5-lap shootout. And correct myself. I think it's going to be a 4-lap shootout. So the lights are still on the pace car. So we're going around one more time.
Yeah, it should be a 4-lap shootout. And if we get a wreck at that time, that'll be the end of it.
George Salmon saying, Mike got a shot here. I can get in the slingshot, maybe make a pass on the back straight, have a yellow flag come out, steal myself a win.
Even if he finishes right where he's at, top 5, I would say that was the move of the race, because he was nowhere all race long. We didn't really even talk about him, and all of a sudden here he is. So staying out was a smart move. Getting this yellow flag obviously gives him a little relief. But it's been a good race. It's been a really entertaining race all along.
Again, one of the commentators was calling for somebody to stay out. George, listening to the broadcast, said, all right, let's not disappoint Soup. I'll stay out here, see what I can do. Sitting in 3rd right now. 4 laps to go. I can do the math. That's 6 miles. Glad you're with us here on the iRacing Esports Network, the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage. Harrington will be in control of the field. Going to try to race that car like a kidney stone. Hard to pass. Here we go. Gather up the chickens that can cover behind the cows. 6 miles to the checkered flag. Connor Harrington leads the stampede down into the first corner. Stouffer right behind him. The old rubber of Sandman as he sits in 3rd, being challenged by Joe Branch. Big Joe Hassard with the car he bounced off the wall. Seems to be pretty quick. Nothing going on in front. The battle right now is for 3rd as they head down into corner number 3. Sandman starting to pick up a little bit of ground there. Oh, but he can't get a good exit off of 4. That's going to open the door for Big Joe Hassard down underneath. He moves up into 3rd. Meanwhile, up in front, Harrington is being challenged by Stouffer. They are side by side. Cialis Bathtub punching a huge hole for Hassard. Hassard, Soup, you think my car isn't feeling good? Let me show you what I can do. He sits in 3rd position right now. They go into 3. There will be 2 to go as they come across the line this time. Hassard has worked his way up into 2nd. Stouffer now in 3rd. That is Yasic. He's been up there the whole time. Look at the run from on the top side. Hello, boys. It's Andrew Havaketch Kinsella as they work down the back straight. hugging the inside, covering the inside like wall-to-wall carpet is Connor Harrington. On him, tighter than a new pair of shoes on a rainy day, is Joe Hazard. They come around out of 4. 1 to go as they go beneath the flag. There's some bumping and banging in the back. I think we're going to finish. It doesn't matter. Harrington with a half-car length on Hazard. Hazard is boxed in because Stolford is now making a move. There's nowhere for Hazard to go. Kinsella gets touched. He gets punched a little bit, but he keeps it going. Out of the final corner, it's going to be Connor Harrington winning the first Medical Equipment 200 to start Season 8.
Wow, that was quite a run by all those guys. I mean, Connor Harrington was not going to give up that bottom line. He ended up just finishing how we were. Chris Stouffer finishing second. Big Joe, all those guys played. Good job by Chin and our rookie there, Holiday Chin, Andrew Kinsella. And obviously I was wrong on the Sandman. He finishes right back to where he was in 15th.
15th before the stop, 15th as they cross the line. Oh my goodness, mama, cover my eyes. I've seen enough to know I've seen too much. We're going to take a short break here on the iRacing Esports Network, but we'll come back and we'll have the post-race show. We'll go to Victor Lane for some interviews. Don't go far. You're watching the Global SimRacing Channel. Welcome back to ISN and GSRC for the first Medical Equipment 200 and the HyperX post-race show. The Lionheart Racing Series is powered by HyperX. When you're trying to claw your way to the top of the podium, it pays to have an ultra-comfortable, high-quality headset that gives you the audio information you need to grab the checkered flag. From high-performance DRAM and SSDs, outstanding microphones, accurate mics, mouses, accurate mice, sorry, that's the plural of mouse, responsive keyboards, to their legendary cloud line of gaming headsets, HyperX makes the gaming gear you need to succeed. Casual or pro, no matter your creed, color, or culture, we're all gamers, and HyperX is always ready to game. All right, if you don't have a pair of the HyperX headphones for the next segment, fear not, because we're going to put the Turning Point finishing order up for First Medical Equipment 200 on screen right now so that you can see it. And let's run through it real quickly. Connor Harrington started in second position, raced up front the whole time with Chris Stouffer. The two are really the class of the field. Harrington gets the nod. Stouffer gets second. Big Joe Hassard might have had something for them. Got pinned on the last lap, had nowhere to go. He has to settle for third. Nevertheless, nice to see the spotlighted driver do so well. Brian Yosik was up near the front most of the race. He'll finish in third. Our top rookie, Joshua Chin, in fifth. Another rookie, Richard Holiday. And we really, too bad we didn't get enough of this one, Richie, as Richard Holiday went from 34th to 6th. Andrew Kinsella, not a rookie, finishes in 7th position. Jason Galvin, we followed his progress. He got 8th. Joe Branch in 9th. And rounding out your top 10, veteran Stefan Larkamp. Richie?
Yeah, coming home in 11th, Brian Beard, our pole sitter. Probably not too happy with that, but still 11th place. Ron Hacker in 12th. Chris Linney in 13th. Same thing with Mark Cohn, starting 3rd. Had a good start. Finishes in 14th. George Sandman had a chance, man. He was right there with 4 laps to go, but obviously those old tires kind of wore out where his positioning was. Finishes back in 15th. Scott Holmes in 16th. Tyler Groff 17th. Adam Frazier 18th. Darren Grangy 19th. And first car lap down in 20th will be Mike Rigney.
Great to see Ganji get back on the lead lap. Hitting blackjack, it's the last season's rookie, Damon Martinez. He was 1 lap down in 21st. Double duck spot goes to Michael Goodman with Mark Workman behind him. 24th and 25th is Brandon Limpkeman and Juna Kinkapati. I'm going to work on that one so it rolls off the tongue for next race. 26th position will be, well, that was Kinkapati. Ken Hacker is after that. Dustin Wardlow, George Anzano had an early exit with Brian Is Not Easy being Greenlee, James Brahula, Justin Weaver, and I'm just going to finish these out, Richie. Jay Brand, Brian Carey, Samuel Ryman, Tony Showen, and Scott Johnson. And now it's time to head down to the Sim Experience Victory Lane to talk to some of the drivers. Sim Experience has the AccuForce Pro V2 Complete, is the premier professional racing simulation steering wheel. The key to its incredible realism is the groundbreaking direct drive motor control system, providing a driving experience that's second only to the real thing. For more information on the entire Sim Experience product line, visit simexperience.com. Richie, I've been doing a lot of talking. How about you take our winner if you got a chance? See what he has to say.
Okay, Connor Harrington, man. Great drive. Really was impressed the way with you and Chris Stouffer kind of worked together about 3 or 4 times and gapped out those guys. But obviously with the yellow flag at the end, it didn't really matter. But nice job. Just give a little rundown on how it went.
Yeah. First of all, Soup, great to have you back. We're really happy to have you back this year.
Thank you.
This the race was crazy. Chris and I I think we just like read each other's mind, in the beginning of the race, and to just try to do the that swap draft on every straightaway. And we built a really good lead, and we were like, okay, let's just keep doing this and try to control the pace from the front of the field. And really, it kind of turned into whoever kind of got lucky with, when the tires started to fall off. If you were out front, you were able to gap the person behind. And Chris was probably the better car tonight. I would say that, but I got lucky with some lap traffic, and I just managed to get in front at the right time, and then being able to pit with a handful of laps to go and have some fresh tires. You're able to hold the bottom wide open, and you would need an incredible push from behind to get around on the outside. So just ecstatic to get the opening race victory.
Yeah, no, after doing the practice race last night, I knew having new tires, you could just hog that white line all the way around. But After a while, you couldn't do that, and fortunately, that yellow flag came with 4 laps to go, and you were able to do that. But those guys behind you were fighting tooth and nail. But congratulations on a great way to start the season. Anybody you'd like to thank for us?
First of all, I want to really thank HyperX. It's amazing that they've become our presenting sponsor, and everybody should go check them out. I want to thank our team, Alcantech Simulation, HR Esports, Nyman Racing, Cranfield Simulation, all of our great partners. We're so excited to really be involved this year, and it's going to be a great year. There's going to be some great action on track. So we're very excited, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for joining us. Congratulations, Connor. Soup, you have Stouffer next.
I think I'm going to get to talk to Chris Stouffer. Chris, you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Chris, it's not often that you get to see, you can early on see the two cars that are the class of the field, and clearly you and Connor Harrington were. It's not often that those two cars make it to the very end to fight it out. It really was a flip of the coin between, for me at least, between if it was going to be you or Harrington for the win.
Oh, for sure. Early in the race, I think I started about mid-pack there and just made my way up to the front. And then me and Connor just started swap drafting. That caution came out, and he sent me a message saying, "Yeah, good job. Let's keep it up." And I, echoed the same sentiment. And so that was our plan, was just to try to maintain a lock on the field with just me and him up front. And then it worked out really well. At one point, I was able to stretch a lead out. Then we went through pit stops. I think he pitted a little bit earlier than me, so that lap or two of fresh tires helped everybody catch right back up. And just kind of went through that cycle a couple times, and then we got that last caution. Second to last caution, that changed everything, and didn't know what to think, but I was glad to bring it home second. I'm happy for him to win too. Can't thank him enough for working with me.
Get you out of here on this one. Why 11th in qualifying? Clearly the car was fast, but you didn't show it when you were out there by yourself.
Well, if you look at the qualifying, I think first through 33rd was separated by less than a tenth of a second. So there wasn't a whole lot of error there. And, there was probably half a hundredth between me and the guy on the pole. So, it was really, really tight field there. But overall, that was a great race by everybody. To go that many laps caution free, especially when we're packed up like that early in the run, that was a good job.
That is a great answer indeed. The pole sitter put in a 24:7:07. You put in 24:7:20. Yeah, that's close enough for me in 11th position. Nice job. Good luck the rest of the way. Way to start the season.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we turn it around with this win for this season and just ride the momentum the whole.
Chris Stouffer finishing second today. Richie, I believe you got the final podium.
I do. I have Big Joe Hassert here, and Joe finished third, starting 15th. We also, you were our highlighted drivers, so we didn't ruin your race with that. And we highlighted that you have won here twice, and you were oh so close to getting a third one.
Yeah, I was. I kind of just got stuck behind the swap draft. It was just made my car push a little too much. I tried to get a couple runs, but Chris and Connor really made it tough. So kind of got boxed in at the end there, and then pushed off of 4. Kind of got caught there. I was trying to get second at least. I was pretty sure it was Connor's race to win with the sun going down and fresh tires. He just held the bottom and won it there. So hats off to him for being in that position. But glad to be able to talk to you guys. First race of the year, off to a good start.
Yeah, you got to be happy starting 15th and surviving some of the wrecks there. But yeah, with the 4 laps to go, having those fresh tires, you Connor pretty much could hog that white line all the way around. And if we wouldn't have gotten that yellow flag, it might have been a different story. But man, really good job. And like you said, great start to the year. It's going to be with some of the guys that aren't racing this year, like that are normally up there, it's going to be a real good mix up front.
Yeah, with Adam's new job and Dan I don't know what he's doing, retiring something. Really opens up
He's
the
doing
field.
RC car racing now.
Yeah, it's good for him. It's it. There's 20 guys who could win this championship, and it's going to be crazy this year. So every position's going to matter, and we'll just try to be consistent.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the first podium of the year, and we look forward to hopefully interviewing you soon more. Soup?
Yeah, definitely. Soup, good to see you back. Sean, I wish you would have came to Cali. It was a good time.
Oh my goodness, Sean Ambrose, our director. We're gonna go one more interview because we want to talk to the top rookie today, Joshua Chin. We're gonna welcome him here to GSRC and to the Lionheart IndyCar Series. Joshua, congratulations, nice race.
Thank you, guys. Wasn't really expecting it. I was aiming for maybe a 10th, 11th place finish after qualifying, and things worked out, especially the long green run with short pitting, which I didn't think was going to work at all, and got him up in the 6th place with it, and it was just a great night after that. Was just trying to hang on, and the caution came out. I got 5th, all things considered, with the restarts, and it was hectic.
You're living in Florida. Tell us a little bit about your racing. Are you a road racer or are you an oval racer?
Definitely a little bit more of a road racer. I don't think I'm bad at ovals in this car. I hope not. I have an Indy 500 win. But yeah, the road courses would definitely be where I'm trying to make up some points on everyone, and being able to start off 5th here is a pretty good start to the season and trying to go for the championship.
Okay, we have a twisty course coming up next time. We look forward to seeing what you can do it. Congratulations on a top 5. It takes some guys a whole career to get a top 5. You get it on your first race. Nice job.
Thank you, guys.
Joshua Chin, 27th to 5th today. Let's go ahead and thank the people that make this possible. How about the Lionheart IndyCar Series title sponsor? That'd be First Medical. They've been the source for medical supplies and equipment in the Burlington, Iowa area for years because of their superior commitment to provide the absolute best in product quality and customer service. We got 3 more sponsors I want to talk about. First, HyperX. Whatever you play, however you play, HyperX knows we're all gamers. HyperXGaming.com. How about Sim Experience? They're going to give away a big prize. We'll talk more about that coming up. Second only to the real thing, simexperience.com. And of course, my favorite, Butt Kicker. We love all the sponsors, but Soup loves Butt Kicker. Bring more realism and immersion to your session. buttkicker.com. Get yourself haptically immersed. To contact any of the sponsors you see on screen right now, go to LionheartRacingSeries.com. Click on the 2020 sponsors. Read or scroll down to the bottom where you can click on the company logo. How about that original music that alerts your eyes you're listening to a GSRC broadcast? That's courtesy of June Lalonde. See the screen to how to get in touch for more information there. On screen now are some of the companies and equipment we use to stream cyberspace into your place. The Lionheart IndyCar Series returns for round 2, March 25th. From this is gonna make Chin happy here, as he said he was a road course. Joshua Chin, we're going to Watkins Glen, baby. So let's see what you can do on that one. That's going to be March 25th. GSRC and IESN will be there. We hope that you come and join us. If you want to have more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, Facebook, Global SimRacing Channel, Twitter, GSR Channel, Instagram at GSRC_Gram. And if you're not a GSRC YouTube subscriber, head over to our GSRC YouTube page and hit the button to subscribe. Hey, you need a St. Patrick's Day gift? Go check out the GSRC merchandise store at gsrc.storeenvy.com. Store Envy, that's 1E. The link is at the in the description below. You know, the GSRC toaster cozies are sold out, but they still got a lot of cool things to pick up. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that'd be Richie, Sean, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching, as it was indeed Connor Harrington getting the win in the first Medical Equipment 200 here from Homestead. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, good health, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.